He's one of the head honchos, the big kahunas of Coinstash, which is a crypto exchange. What we're going to be talking about is a few things about what an exchange does, a little bit about his background, where crypto's going, and then maybe throw in a few little gem coins or something like that. So,
like a lot of people, I think I was at the pub.
Right.
And I think it just started moving, and one of my mates brought it up, and no one gave it too much thought. But look,
what year was that, you think?
Oh, that would have been 2011.
Okay.
I'm learning about it, and I go to all my mates studying finance, accounting, things like that, and literally was like laughed out of rooms. That
Really?
Just be like,
Yeah.
you know. And for a while, I was the butt of their jokes.
Sure. Magic internet money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
To talk over top of him.
It's Edge Radio Australia. Great to be here for the Crypto Hour of Power. He just talks over exactly. It's what
time.
It's almost like it's a slight distraction, not much, mate. It's just it eases me into the show. I know that this level of professionalism you're doing with my money, so there you go.
Yeah, 100%.
Great to see you. Hey, we've got a special guest in the studio today, mate.
Yes, we do. And before we start, just throwing into that, it's good to see you again, mate.
It has been too long, mate. I haven't seen you for ages.
It has.
Great to see you.
And I just like to interrupt you when you first start, just see how focused you are for the day, to see if you're hungover or not.
Do I look like I'm hungover? No, not at all. No, completely not.
For the audience out there, he's a little bit under the weather this morning.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit.
But he's professional.
I'll be fine. Of course, I can focus.
Okay.
So for the next 30 minutes, I'll just be quiet. That's what we'll do. Duncan, great to see you, mate. You are from, of course, Coinstash, yeah?
Yeah.
Great to see you. I will do the introductions, mate, because clearly we need to get this back online. Okay, if we can. Coinstash is a local company, Australian company, as I understand things.
Yeah. Office based in Brisbane, but we've got staff all over the place.
No, good you have here, mate. And I will throw you, mate.
And it is the Crypto Hour of Power, so we're going to be talking about everything crypto.
Yep.
If you're more professional, you would have mentioned that.
I would have. Yeah.
Yes. So today we've got Duncan in. He's one of the head honchos, the big kahunas of Coinstash, which is a crypto exchange. What we're going to be talking about is a few things about what an exchange does, a little bit about his background, where crypto's going, and then maybe throw in a few little gem coins or something like that. So, Duncan, obviously you didn't wake up and then go to school and then sort of almost be like a crypto expert and start get involved with the crypto exchange. What was your history going into crypto? Did someone sort of mention it to you and you ignored it for a number of years, or your mates were doing it? How did you first start your first introduction to crypto?
My first introduction, I mean, the very first time I heard about Bitcoin, like a lot of people, I think I was at the pub.
Right.
And I think it just started moving, and one of my mates brought it up, and no one gave it too much thought. But look.
What year was that, you think?
Oh, that would have been 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
A while ago. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is why you should go to the pub, people.
That's right. This is where you get all your best financial advice at the pub. Not.
Yeah. Well, so did you jump in straight away, or?
No. Yeah. So we didn't give it too much thought. And then a few years later, kind of like that the market had peaked, and it was about 2014. So where it was like a bear market.
Okay.
And I, went to a party. I didn't know the guy. Everyone's like, oh yeah, come along to this, house party. So we kind of turned up, and I was told the guy hosting the party owns the house, and it's this nice big Queenslander inner city Brisbane. I went up to the guy. He was a year older than me, so I was 22 at the time. He would have been 23, and I was like, mate, how do you own this? You're a year older than me. Like, you should be in uni, or you are in uni.
Yeah.
How do you have this? And he's like, oh, mate, Bitcoin, and then
simple as that.
Yeah, and he kind of we kept in touch after the party, and we'd hang out, and he kind of educated me, and I think, look, big thing for it is I learned about Bitcoin in a time in my life where it made sense.
Okay.
So to me, I didn't have a lot of money. I was a uni student. I was very much, I wouldn't say anti-establishment, but like, you know, when you're a bit rebellious, when you're a bit younger, like power to the people, like
make no mistake, if you're anti-establishment, you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 100% with you. And I think, and sorry to interrupt, but okay, I think at that age, you're in your early 20s, you're more open to this sort of thing, especially with the tech. I think a lot of, particularly if you're looking older people, boomers, the tech would be quite confronting. You're kind of ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I remember like after I'd kind of got orange pilled, I went down that rabbit hole, spent a bit of time learning about it, and I'd go to all my mates studying finance, accounting, things like that, and literally was like laughed out of rooms. That
Really?
Just be like, you know, and for a while I was the butt of their jokes.
Magic internet money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, you know, and even after it did, you know, 17, 18 came along, it topped there and came, and like I'd keep getting those little sly comments up, you know, in the bear markets. Oh, how's your crypto going? And
stuff. They pile on you when it's down, don't they?
Yeah,
but they don't say much when it's up.
Well, that's it. But look, might be skipping ahead a bit, but I think those times are changing.
Sure.
I totally think so. People are asking me all the time. I just have to hand pass it because it's all about education. Obviously, this isn't financial advice. This show is about education. That's what you do, mate. That's why you're absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, 100%.
Really.
Because I mean, it's scary when people first start stepping in, and a lot of people I've found, they know a friend that's been scammed or lost money, or they've lost the keys, or they've done whatever. So there's also that negative pressure. So you sort of need someone that either knows what they're doing, or be using a reputable company that can help them and guide them through the way. Before we get into all the crypto side of stuff, what were you studying at uni?
Mate, I had jumped around to a few things, just racking up a hex debt, but I ended up, like a lot of, you know, when you're young, you don't really know what you want to do. No. So I ended up sticking with business management and marketing, just because they were two areas that I thought all businesses need.
Yeah,
so something that I'd be able to use. And they actually got me working in the industry.
It's been better for you than, say, gender studies, right?
Yeah. Or philosophy or something.
Or media, just so you know.
Cool. So, like, did you get a phone call one day and like Coinstash or an exchange say, hey, come and work for us, or we think you're pretty cool?
Yeah, no. So I was spending all my time, you know, orange pilled, altcoins came. I was like, yeah, you know, altcoins are going to change the world, like a lot of people. And I was spending all my time learning about it. And it just kind of got to the point, I was like, I'm spending this much time learning about it, I should just work in the industry. So I ended up getting a job for an OTC exchange. Now they've gone under around the same time of FTX, as a lot of companies did.
Yeah, big purge. And for the audience out there, OTC means
over the counter.
Over the counter.
Yeah. Okay. So OTCs are very institutional term,
right?
And crypto's kind of adopted it. I think a better way to phrase it probably would be broker, essentially.
Okay.
OTC, where it's a brokerage desk.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's good to sort of go back on these things because we're not all experts with, you know, Bitcoin and or crypto full stop. So with altcoins, explain basically what they are to the everyday person.
Anything but Bitcoin.
Yeah. Exactly. So altcoins are essentially anything other than Bitcoin. That all kind of came about with
Ethereum.
I guess, the Ethereum was the one that really kicked it in the gear, but I guess there were altcoins before, like Litecoin, XRP,
I think Digi,
Dash.
What are the Dash? Yeah, Dash.
But they weren't really innovating off what Bitcoin was. It was like Litecoin was the silver to Bitcoin's gold kind of thing. So,
but Ethereum innovated,
Ethereum innovated. Okay. So it took the blockchain technology, but then gave people the ability to build on the blockchain without having to create their own blockchain.
With smart contract.
Right.
what is it? If this, then that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, smart contract. If you do this, then this happens. Right.
And with the crossover now with AI, I can imagine this is going to explode. The contracts is such a good thing. I mean, this saves so much money, keeps away from the lawyers to a degree. Okay, well, gets the fees down just a little bit. But you're actually able to make a contract that is smart, that covers all the bases and all of the things that could
and
go.
launch your own coins. And because, I mean, the ICO boom back in the day, an initial coin offering.
Yeah.
There's thousands that came out. A lot of them failed. Some of them did well, So speaking of altcoins, so you started to jump into altcoins a bit, and probably back in that day, there wasn't as many as there are now.
Yeah.
They're everywhere now.
There's, and I mean, look, I was pretty green then. I would have been mid-20s. Didn't really have a plan. I bought the top of a lot of things and lost some money there. But then there was a handful of wins, so that kind of, keeps me going. But look, altcoins, just on that topic, I think, where the space has come a long way since 2017, 18. Last cycle when you saw alt season, the space was still very green. But now, especially with AI, people are going to be able to ramp up development. There's regulation over in the States, the Clarity Act, the Genius Act. Once they're passed, a lot more doors will open. Essentially, clarity will happen. And these, apps or ideas that people just had will start to become more mainstream.
Yeah, agree and disagree. The Clarity Act, mate, we might have some words off on here.
Well, I was going to butt in on that on the Genius Act. I mean, okay, so in real world terms, for the average investor, how much has the Genius Act changed things?
Not much.
For institutions, maybe. You know what I mean? It gives them a bit more of they've told us this, they've gate-kept that.
Yeah, okay.
But basically it's bollocks. I mean, they should just leave the industry alone. We invented it, or we've been part of the crypto industry from nothing, and it's grown into a multi-trillion-dollar industry globally without any government oversight or intervention. And now they want to jump on and start to regulate stuff. I think they should just go away, to be honest with you.
Well,
but that's just me, my opinion, not the opinion of Coinstash.
No, I understand that. I think the counter argument to that is, the regulation is needed for adoption to happen, right? So,
but the type of adoption, we probably shouldn't do this because we're going to end up in a debate. The type of adoption that you're getting are institutions. You know? And I'm more into people. You know what I mean? Getting involved.
Independence from the system.
Well, exactly. And like I said, I think that's kind of the path that got me into crypto.
Right.
But then I also see I see both sides of the coin, right?
Yeah, I do, and it's got its pros and cons, but, I'm not celebrating it and jumping off, doing cartwheels about it. I like some Morgan Stanley and all that jumping in, Bank of America, go away. Yeah. You've already ruined your system, don't ruin ours, But anyways, so, I mean, there's a lot of alts out there. You guys cover, like, how many?
We've got the most amount of altcoins in Australia, so over 1,000 on the platform. So, we're able to do that through our DeFi connector.
Yep.
So, some of the cool things lately, like last year, I think we were the first exchange in Australia to list Trump.
Yep. And Melania, I think, as well.
Melania, we had Melania.
I jumped in on that as soon as you listed it, man. Buzzer. Just went up and to the right.
As long as you got out.
I
not
got
long
out.
after. But no, and like Asta, we had that 2 weeks before our closest competitor. And we had it within probably 24, 48 hours of it launching.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you listed the BST token, Block Square token as well?
Got Block Square. Yeah.
Not
We've
listed on any other exchange.
Yeah.
Because you've got that DeFi element, you know what I mean? Maybe not getting into the weeds too much, but DeFi is basically decentralized finance. when you say, you have a DeFi aspect of it, is that because are you using aggregators and sort of jumping on 1inch and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah. So exactly. So we plug into 1inch, which then aggregates it out to a bunch of different dexes,
but it saves the client or not client, the person jumping on 1inch themselves and doing it. You guys are doing it for them.
So, and this is kind of back to what we were talking about with like the adoption and apps and stuff, because that's a big hurdle, right?
Yep.
I remember the first time, even myself, like I was 27 or something, or maybe a bit older, when first learning MetaMask.
Yeah, MetaMask.
And that was, I was younger. I like to think of myself as reasonably tech savvy, and that was like I had to spend half an hour, 45 minutes, like watching YouTube videos, instructions, how to learn it. So one of our value propositions at Coinstash is that we get rid of that barrier, that learning curve. So your mum or grandma can jump on the exchange, send their AUD, and then buy,
knowledge is power, right? Okay, and why would you not put it this is your future, this is your money, put it in the hands of people who actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, and the DeFi aspect of crypto to me is almost the most important part of crypto, where back in the day, I mean, you get on MetaMask and you do a swap of 1inch or whatever it may be and use a DeFi, but basically the community was providing the liquidity, right?
Yep. Peer-to-peer.
Yeah, it was peer-to-peer. Basically, you put your Ethereum up and you tagged it with Chainlink, and anyone that swapped Chainlink to Ethereum or Ethereum to Chainlink, you get a percentage of it. Now, that is scary for people that are just getting in, but it also was the way of getting in before the coin launched on exchanges, right?
Yeah.
Because they would see, hey, there's a lot of movement here, and then all of a sudden Binance would list it. And then as soon as Binance listed it, Coinstash, CoinSpot would list it, then Coinbase would list it, then all the exchanges. So what happened was you were getting in the market where the exposure was this much, and before it got exposed to this much, to more markets, you know what I mean? That's kind of not so much nowadays, but it is a way of using DeFi. But it was unsafe for a lot of people. Right. You could make a lot of mistakes. You can do a lot of things wrong. You also needed to be educated. But also another thing I want to talk about with this is, for example, with lower cap coins, if you go in and you wanted to buy 20 grand worth of stuff, you know what I mean? You're actually pushing the price against you, because of the buying, because of the liquidity.
Guys, I don't know what you mean. So what do you mean?
All right, just say... okay, round figures. I probably should have prepared something a bit earlier, but just say there's $100,000 worth of liquidity on the market, righty? So that means there's $100,000 worth of this coin to be bought, and you want to buy 20 grand's worth of it. You're going to take up 20% of that supply.
Yeah.
So you're actually going to push the price up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it does.
Right? Because
and isn't this what
this person wants to sell it, say $10.
Yeah.
This person wants to sell it to $12, $13, it'll take up all of that order. So you're pushing the price against you.
Okay.
But when you're using an aggregator or Coinstash, I'm hoping, because we probably should have rehearsed this before I've said it, is that if I was to place a big order, say with low liquidity, like the Block Square token, BST, now, it has a good market cap, it doesn't have a huge one, and I wanted to buy 40, 50 grand's worth, you wouldn't then automatically trigger that to buy 40, 50 grand. Would you aggregate it and buy like $5,000 at a time? Do you know what I mean? To not push the price against the client?
No. So we don't have that capability. I know what you're saying, and that would be great. But and like a lot of we get customers that don't understand liquidity, and they're trying to buy $10,000 of some low liquidity token, and the order's not going through, and they think it's a problem with us, but it's the liquidity on the token that they're trying to buy isn't there.
Right.
Okay. Is it the whales that are now in the game that are doing that? Like they're buying a big percentage of them, and therefore it's pushing the price.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, what do you call a whale? Like they're probably a whale on that asset class that they're buying,
right?
But in the grand scheme,
no, that's why I asked you. Right.
But I mean, you have an education part of you, and you can also Look, with Orange Brick Road, just do a plug or whatever, we don't deal with any, because we do, I think, 16 different businesses. We don't deal with anyone that we can't get on the phone, right?
Totally.
And my golden rule is if I call you and you don't answer, that's fine. But you don't call me back, you're either too busy or incompetent. You know what I mean? Because a lot of, Coinbase and Binance, whatever, they're good exchanges and they're good at what they do. But I like the idea that if I've got a problem or any of my clients got a problem, they can phone one of you guys, right? So if they want to execute an order, whatever, it's that contact, and based in Australia.
Yeah.
Because if they want to be buying low cap coins or whatever, that's something that you can maybe assist them with.
Yeah. For a they can do it on the platform straight away. They can do it OTC as well with us, where our minimum OTC trade size is 20 grand, but they want to buy 20 grand of
BST.
BST or something,
We're just using that as an example,
we could help facilitate that, because then we're going to be pulling it from different sources to help them get their order.
Yeah, cool. But if they just want to buy $1,000 worth, easy.
On the platform.
Better being easy.
Actually, I just take this opportunity. If anyone's online and actually wants to ask a question, I notice we're going to, quite a lot of platforms at the moment. So if you are on one that we can read, if you've got a comment or question, that would be very, very welcome indeed.
Yeah, cool, Nance. Yeah, fire away, peeps. Okay, cool. Now, we were talking about how we at Orange Brick Road sort of set up a portfolio is, like I was saying before we went on air, 40, 50% what I call standards or, stables or whatever would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably Chainlink, Cardano. Then we'd do 30, 40% mid caps, then some lower risk ones and that sort of thing. These are the type of portfolios that we can set up. So we all know Bitcoin, right? So now having someone that runs an exchange, what would be your 2 or 3, 4 cryptos in mid cap that you're kind of bullish on, not financial advice?
Yeah. Look, my probably 2 that I would say. So Bitcoin's king. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. I recommend everyone have some Bitcoin in their portfolio, and if you are buying alts, it should be essentially make profits to buy more Bitcoin.
Okay.
But look, I think the alt market has changed a lot over the years. As we all know, no alt cycle came, or alt season came. This cycle, Bitcoin cycle, just passed. So a lot of the speculation has gone out of the market, and people, I think, need to treat them like equity stocks.
Okay.
And actually look at the token. What is the company doing for the token? How are they creating value for their token?
What problem do they solve?
Yeah. What problem are they solving? But is that problem actually being used as well? And is it generating revenue? Because
it's got to have utility, got to have a community.
Yeah, exactly. So utility. And so what I would look at buying alts is, I think one of the biggest things is look at what tokens are actually buying their token back. What companies are buying their token? So Hyperliquid, great example.
Yeah.
They're generating, I think at the moment, 1.5 mil a day. So that's like 550.
Is it a buy and burn or is it a buy and hold?
They're buying and holding.
Okay,
so
cool.
Yeah, they're buying it back.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and they're generating that much revenue that they can keep consistently doing it. Chainlink's another one. And they've got that. They're actually setting up automation as well. So when someone uses their Chainlink network, regardless of what they pay that fee in, that'll just go back into Link and buy the token as well. So, you think...
Well, where do you learn all this?
I know it somewhere, but all right.
It's sitting at home, that's valuable information. But where did you get it from?
Look, X. Just doing like I said, I kind of live and breathe the industry, right? So I'm always looking at, other people's opinions, saying, what I like and what I don't.
It is an industry. I mean, like, because I think we sort of went through the same era. You know what I mean? And it was like, do your own research. And I just dove into it. I was on YouTube forever. All the chats forever. You know what I mean? And you can get overwhelmed with it. There's a lot of information out, especially nowadays. Back in our day, it was a little bit different. There was probably 6, maybe 8 people on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Is that all?
And now there's hundreds.
I was just saying to someone the other day, I remember like back in like 17, 18, that came around. Now there's all these new narratives popping up, but it was still small enough that I was like still kind of felt like the go-to guy.
Yep,
like,
sure.
Come to me and I could answer your question. But then, when the 21, 22 cycle came around, the space had grown so much. Like people asking me questions, I was just like,
well, a lot of people were locked at home for a bit there, and they did a lot of research. They did spend a lot of time looking at YouTube videos, all that, and actually studying, the blockchain and the whole box and dice. So that would have been a huge explosion of the industry, I would tend to think.
Yeah, there was a lot went on during that era. A lot went well, a lot crashed, a lot went horribly wrong. Celsius, FTX, name a few, just a couple, But it all boils down to, because we spent hours and hours and hours doing it, you know what I mean? Because we just got orange pilled and just away we went. But for people that are working 9 to 5 or got a job or whatever, it's a lot harder, you know what I mean? Where would you suggest, besides Orange Brick Road, being the greatest crypto company in Australia?
Goes without saying.
Absolutely, you know what I mean, for education. Is there, do you go to Coin Bureau and places like that for research or?
Yeah, look, there's definitely like, it's hard as well. Like Coin Bureau, you got to remember
they
get paid. Yeah, exactly. Like that, they do post some like decent content, but then they also post shit.
Yeah.
And it's because someone's paid them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
but don't get me wrong. Like, well, I might be wrong on this, but on your platform, you've also got all the information of the coins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you click on Chainlink, it'll tell you what Chainlink's all about.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a good resource.
So
to start.
Yeah, exactly. That is a great source to start. Where we do have a team that like essentially creates those information pages. Yeah, about me sections for the tokens. Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be doing a few things in the future as well and working together. One was we're going to do get you on a webinar to get you to go through the actual platform. The links will be in the description. We'll work all that sort of stuff out. And also we're going to start doing some online courses, a whole bunch of stuff that we've been talking about for a while. Now we've got a bit of breathing space. I do want to touch on this. Do you think alt season started or it's not going to happen or where we at?
Man,
my personal opinion, it started today.
Look, it was nice and green today. Look, I
couldn't believe it, actually. I had a client that said, actually rung me up and said, have you seen the price? I'm like, no, because I don't stare at a chart all day. Then I looked at them, oh, hello.
Yeah, it's look, I don't know. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, that hasn't changed much, right? And that is normally a good indicator for alt season. However, look, I'm gonna. I've eaten my words before. In last cycle, I was like, after 17, 18, 21, 22 came around, I was like, no, the market's smarter. There'll be no alt season.
Yeah.
And there was. And I wasn't allocated correctly, and I missed out on a lot there.
Right.
And then this time around, I said the opposite. I was like, it happened last time. It'll come again. And, I missed that one. So
I think there's going to be an alt season.
Yeah.
but it's going to be a very selective alt season.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's going to be in the top sort of 10, maybe 20s mites. And I think this will be a good flush out season where a lot of coins that have been around for a long period of time that don't perform in this up season for the alts, they're going to disappear forever.
So, okay, even the older stuff, you think?
Yeah, there's coins that have been around forever. You know, the Craig Wrights of our world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Satoshi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying his coin in general, but there's been coins that have been around forever that haven't really performed or do anything. Now, I'm going to talk about you've talked about a few mistakes you've made. I talk about a couple of calls that I thought XRP was pus, right?
Yeah.
I literally went, this is just literally a meme coin. Banks are going to adopt it. This is going to happen, rah, rah. I dumped my XRP. I've been proven completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
Where do you sit with XRP?
Mate. I think it's a banking themed meme coin.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Brother.
It's like, you know, just recently everyone's going, oh, yeah, they're buying Ripple Lab shares. Yeah, they're buying Ripple Lab shares with the XRP
with the
token that they're dumping to then fund Ripple Labs. They're different entities.
Can you explain what that means?
So, do you want to take
No.
Be my guest.
Yeah. So there's the XRP token or blockchain.
Yeah.
But then that is owned by Ripple Labs.
Ripple Labs.
And so Ripple Labs has shares for the company.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like I said, you know,
so they're two separate entities effectively.
Well,
same company, but
XRP or the Ripple blockchain is one of their products, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Now, XRP is a product of Ripple, but they've got other products. Okay. Now, another coin, you know, that I was completely wrong with, Dogecoin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No utility, no use, rah, pump like crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
So, like, in this whole meme coin thing,
it's narrative.
Yeah, narrative. You know? It's financial like nihilism where the people are now aware that like this is a lot of it is a Ponzi, a lot of it is a scam. So it is gambling where they're going in and they're just trying not to be the one held with the bag.
Yeah.
It's look, I mean, a dog with a hat did pay for my wedding, so
right, there you go, brother.
Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, I've done well out of meme coins too, you know, but I don't advise or suggest clients jump into them except with 5 or 10%, you know, little play money. Have a throw at it. Don't put all your bag into Doge.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's like, you know, I'd jump on the platform. I could see customers' accounts and I'd see some self-managed super funds and people putting their retirement on Brett or whatever it might be. But look, we can't advise. We don't say, you know, what's wrong or right. And if, you know, maybe they know something I don't.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've put stuff into stuff that it's 1000x. You know what I mean? Like, and you go and you look back in hindsight and you go, I should have put more into it. You know what I mean?
Hindsight,
but out of the 10 that are little caps that I've just thrown, $100 here and, you know, $50 here or whatever, little play money or whatever, you know, out of the 10 or just round figures, I don't know what the figures are, it'd be 1 out of 10 that succeeded. Okay. Do you know what I mean? The other 9 got wrecked on. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, look, that mentality works as well. Like, you know, that's what a lot of BCs,
100%.
That's how they work, right?
Shattergun. You know what I mean? They like, because in a bull market, everyone's a genius.
Yeah.
You throw a dart at the top 100, it's going to go up, and you think you're awesome. You know what I mean? Now, speaking a little segue on that, the big narrative, I mean, we've gone through narratives with the ICOs, and then we then had, what are they, JPEGs on the bloody blockchains? What are they called? What are they called?
NFTs.
NFTs, sorry. Mind blank. They were going to do phenomenally well. The narrative this sort of cycle, to me, is real-world assets and AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of these AI coins are coming out of nowhere, righty? 99.9% of these AI coins, in my opinion, are going to fail, righty? In my opinion. but it is the narrative. And once again, people, don't put your life savings into AI, crypto, But is there any that you're kind of bullish on, or you're just not looking at the AI thing at the moment? I'm letting it settle down.
I can't speak too much on the AI thing, because that's not where it's like I said before, there's so many narratives.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But real world assets, I'm super bullish on Chainlink. I think anyone knows me knows that.
Yeah.
If you look at Chainlink, it's not just an oracle. It's a full suite of different services.
Okay.
And it essentially, I think they're doing about 75% at the moment of all DeFi is using Chainlink or Chainlink products. Yeah,
because that's what it originally was an oracle.
Monopoly.
It was like a middleman between talking to different blockchains and different segments and that sort of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
and once again, that is a coin that's been around for a long period of time.
But it's a coin that is doing something.
Yep.
It's generating revenue. It's growing. I mean, the amount of partnerships and everything that it has. It's doing essentially what Ripple told everyone they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also XLM. I mean, that's a great coin. Big on that. Go XLM. But you got people that, you got the Bitcoin maxis, you got the Link Marines for the Chainlink, you got the XRP Army, on and on it goes. Narrative does drive it, but in my opinion, it only drives it for so long.
But narrative drives everything, right? You look at the normal stock market, right? And it's like when they talk about crypto scams and all that kind of carry on. Guess what? Same thing happens right across all levels of finance, okay?
Yeah.
Through the whole fiat system as well. It's a case of you do your research, get educated, and pick accordingly to the risk that you choose. Some people who want massive gains and they're willing to really roll the dice. Other people are going to want something far more conservative.
Yeah, 100%. And how much time you can dedicate to it, you know what I mean? Like, we dove in and just spent our whole life doing it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I mean, if you're married with 3 kids and you just don't have the time.
No. That's where brokers are good, right?
Yeah, and people that have been through it, because I mean, you pay us money to teach us, but you're really not paying us to teach us. You're paying us to show you not what to do and get wrecked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've done everything wrong. I've sent stuff to wrong addresses, disappears forever. I've lost my seed phrases for certain wallets. I've linked to certain DeFi platforms that just drained me. You know what I mean? We've made a lot of mistakes along the way, haven't we, brother?
Oh, mate, so many. I don't want to recall them all, but there's, there's everyone here. Everyone talks about the wins, not the losses, right?
Yeah.
But the losses are there. I think anyone that's been in the industry for that long is that many ups and downs. No one's had a completely perfect run.
And there's also, advice on, see, everyone's a genius in the bull market when they buy and it goes up, they think they're great. To me, the most important, or one of the most important parts of crypto is when you sell. You know what I mean? And have that allocated when you buy it. And then stick to that plan.
Oh, so going with the preconceived idea, if it achieves that.
I bought it for $1. If it hits $1.40, I'm out.
Okay.
And stick to it.
And look, that's, one of the mistakes I made, back in 17, 18 is not having a plan. Like I said, I was young, I was mid-20s, not from a finance background at the time. And
didn't understand market cycles.
And I watched it, round tripped it, and I said, "Look, I'm not doing that again." And
a question on what you just said about marking that number that you're going to sell. Does that stop the old fear of missing out?
It stops people from forever going, "This is going to go forever."
Yeah.
And then they can also have the regret. And the other advice they give you, once you've got your exit order and you got it done, don't look at the charts for the next month.
Yeah, I remove everything from my, when I sell something, I'll remove it instantly
It's
from
gone.
my.
It's instantly
my
an ex
guy.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
gone.
because you'll look at
Yeah.
it the next day and it's gone up another 15%.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh, I'm still.
Oh, she's doing so well. I don't want to see this.
But when you've gone through the pain of watching something go up 160, 180%,
Mhm.
and then watch it drop all the way down to 92% in front of your eyes,
Mhm.
just as it goes down 20 or 30%, you're like, no, it's coming back.
Yeah,
Goes down another 20, it's definitely coming back now. Everyone's going to pile in and literally watch your portfolio drop by 90%. Have that happen to you a couple of times and you learn to take profits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, look, and one of my mates, he was someone asked a similar question, like, how do I know when to sell?
Mm.
And he just put it. I just really like the way he phrased it. He goes, if it's life changing money, sell.
Fucking out.
Like,
Yeah, great
yeah,
idea.
if the profit that you've earned can impact your life in a meaningful way, then take it.
See, the more impact your life in a meaningful way as opposed to life changing. For example, someone puts $2,000 into it, it turns into 10 and they need 10 grand to put on a deposit for a house. Out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use it for that. And I also think probably the best trading that I've ever done in my entire life, and I used to day trade. I did it for like 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. 6 screens in front of me, alerts everywhere, fucking eating in front of the computer, horrible. It's just dollar cost average. You know what I mean? Every week, just in.
Oh yeah, the DCA is the best strategy. I mean, especially for Bitcoin, I think
Big time.
like Bitcoin, like nothing's a sure thing in crypto, and this is not
Or in
financial
life,
advice, but I think Bitcoin is, or in life, I think Bitcoin's not going anywhere. I don't know what price it'll be, but in tomorrow or 10 years from now, but it's not going to zero. And yeah, I think the best way to capitalize on that is dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, and I think I was going to say, what is it? With the volatility of Bitcoin is getting less and less and less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a more consistent asset over the years. Yes, you're not going to get as much as upside as you have back in the day, but you're not going to get much downside. I feel like you want to end this.
I'm happy with life, mate. I don't want to end it. No, I was just actually thinking what's happened is I can actually see little symbols come up to tell me that a lot of people are making comments that we can't actually see. They're going through friends only. It's the beauty of the internet. It's been shared and reshared, and therefore we can't see it. So for those people who have actually got those comments, look, please make those comments, make some more. The best way to get them to us is actually go to the Edge Radio Australia YouTube page, because that comes straight through, or our direct Facebook page. That's also a winner. But the other thing, for those comments that have been made, if you want to address those during the week, that'd be great, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. I'll keep an eye on them.
Cool.
You know what I mean? And if you got any questions, orangebrickroad.com.au. There's also a button there. There's all manner of stuff on the website. There's frequently asked questions. There's all manner of thing, but you can book a free 15-minute call with me. And what I do is then just qualify what you need and point you in the right direction. So if you need to set up a trust, or you want to do your superannuation, or you're just getting started, or you want to concentrate on your security, please, people, for the love of everything in life, focus on security when it comes to investing in crypto. You can make a lot of money in crypto, or you can lose a lot. There doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground. So just do things safely. Reach out to me, and even if it's a 10-minute phone call, just to say, stop doing what you're doing, do something correctly, just to help out in any way. And like I said, we'll be doing some seminar webinars and that with the guys from Coinstash coming up soon. Is
Absolutely.
that about it?
I think, mate, you've summed it up.
Is that
beautifully.
the best way to ever end a live stream?
It was epic, mate. That really was amazing. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to walk away and let you take over completely from now on.
Ready?
I want to thank you, Duncan, mate. Thank you so much. You've brought a lot of great information. You really have. And you've explained it in a way that is like grassroots. We don't get caught up in all the initials and the expertise that you two have got. And I will give you some credit on this, mate. That's one thing I absolutely love about the way that Orange Brick Road operates. It's not, you're not looking at the top end of town. You're looking at the mums and dads and everybody who's trying to improve their
we
life.
can speak to the top end of town, but they speak a different language.
Yeah.
And I'm not that type of dude. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm more like, you know, a steak and chips and a beer at the bar.
You are, mate. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
type of
we
guy.
have done that.
Yes.
Now, if you want to get in touch with Duncan, should you go through
Yeah,
the
orangebrickroad.com.au, you'll see in our services exchange, and then there's also a little course set up on how to do it.
Okay.
But if you have any problems, you just give us a call and we'll work it out.
Great. Thanks for being part of the Crypto Hour of Power here at Edge Radio Australia.
The best crypto radio thing ever in the world.